This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. It's all about community. Spirituality is important. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. PocaSPEAKS. This shit is not easy, but it's worth it. It's all about community. Spirituality is important. PocaSPEAKS.
All right. Hello, my lovelies. I hope that everyone is having a fantastic day so far. Today's Topic Tuesday is a little different than what we usually do on Topic Tuesdays. Usually we are, discussing something that's going on in the world, or, discussing more of a popular type of topic that may not necessarily have too much to do with the spiritual world. But today's Spirit kind of wanted me to pivot a little bit. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to talk about today, which is very normal for me. Y'all know I'm a Gemini, so half of these topics Spirit gives me right before I hop on here. Or I don't even come on here until I get whatever download I need to come on here. I don't ever like to come on here and just be talking, because that just doesn't seem helpful. And I know I can do that, but I don't want to do that. Okay. So Spirit, usually gives me whatever topics or whatever situation or whatever we're going to be discussing right before I get on stream. And today was no different. I thought, usually I'm checking my different Telegram groups and different things like that on Topic Tuesdays, because I'm in a lot of Telegram groups with Caucasian people, that are tapped into what's going on, so that I can get information and bring it to y'all. Okay. So when it comes to certain things, dealing with the world and those type of topics, that's usually when I'm trying, looking to see, okay, is this something that they need to know about, that type of thing. But today, when I was looking through the groups, nothing was really standing out to me for real. There wasn't any information in there that I haven't already given y'all. If you are in any of my spiritual groups, and that's my incense going across the screen, y'all, just so you know. But if you are in any of my spiritual groups, then you know that I have been sending a lot of information from those Telegram apps as far as news and different stuff that's going on. If you're not a part of those groups, then you need to be a part. Okay, because why are you not a part? What, you don't like us or something? I don't know. Anyway, but like I said, as I was looking through the groups, nothing was really standing out. So I'm like, okay, let me go on TikTok, because sometimes I'll hop on TikTok and Spirit will be like that, and I'll be like, okay, nothing. So right when I was getting ready to come on here, because I was just gonna come on here and chit chat with y'all, Spirit said, chosen ones. It's time for them to understand who they are. And I said, well, I don't think that I've done a video specifically for those who are chosen, those who are the quote unquote black sheep, those who are the star seeds. I haven't really done an in-depth video of who those people are, why those people are the way that they are, why those people are who they are, and ways to know if you fall in that category. Because one of the questions that I get a lot when I do chosen ones readings, sometimes I'll do readings for the chosen ones or things of that nature. A lot of people always is questioning, like, okay, is this for me? Am I a chosen one? Is this something I should be listening to? There's always like this hesitance when it comes to being selected, right? Or being a quote unquote chosen one, because it's never really been explained, right? It's something that you just come into spirituality, or you're around spiritual stuff and you just like, you hear this term, right? And you just don't know if it applies to you or not. You may have an inkling or a feeling that is something about it that, you keep getting drawn back to, but you're not really sure why or what it is or whatever. Okay, so we about to get into it. Definitely I'm gonna save all of my videos. I know all of my videos are saved. If you don't find it on Facebook, for those who are watching from Facebook, then you need to be on YouTube anyway. Why are you not subscribed to PocaSPEAKS on YouTube? What are you doing? I thought y'all loved me. What's the tea? But yeah, let that be your reason to go ahead and subscribe so you can watch all of these videos back from the beginning. A lot of my TikToks, y'all know I wasn't on Facebook for a very long time. For those who are watching me from Facebook, I wasn't on Facebook for almost like a year. I was on TikTok live for that whole year. All of those TikToks are on YouTube. Okay, so if you like, where the fuck was she at for this long ass time? You can go over there and watch a lot of those videos back, because I would save them and then upload them for people who didn't have TikTok. Okay, so definitely go watch those back. Go watch the new content. Go watch everything. Okay, just go watch everything. Anyway, so we want to go ahead and get into this. First, I want to discuss what a chosen one is, and then we're going to get into how to know if that applies to you, or if that is something that you can or should identify as. Okay, because if you're going to identify as anything, I'd rather identify as chosen. Okay, period. So what is a chosen one? Okay, and why do we call people the quote unquote chosen ones? Now, the term chosen ones kind of comes from the idea that stems from Christianity. Not necessarily stems from Christianity, meaning that Christianity created, but it is something, that a lot of us have found to kind of solidify what being chosen may look like or may be. In the Bible, there's one particular part that talks about the 144,000 that will be selected to go back with the Lord. Okay, and that's kind of where the idea they stole the idea from spirituality, but us waking up, we were able to find it again through the same shit that they tried to use to confuse us and distract us from spirituality, which is Christianity, right? So being a part of that, not necessarily saying that there is only 144,000 of us, because that's cap. It's a lot of us, right? But what it is saying is there are some of us who have been picked apart, set aside, selected, right? Or we volunteered, because remember, this is not our first lifetime, right? A lot of us are coming back again to fulfill whatever we are supposed to fulfill here, to fulfill whatever contract, to engage in whatever work, whether that's assistance with the collective, whether that is teaching, helping, healing our families, ourselves, our bloodlines, whether that is being a part of the communities, uplifting, being a part of the community's ascension, whatever it is. Okay, we came back for a reason. So number one, what makes a chosen one a chosen one? You decided to come back here. And that's one of those parts of spirituality that will really determine what side of the fence you're on. There are a lot of people who are here because they continue to repeat lifetimes based on lack of accountability, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, ego, just fucking around and doing whatever they want, making bad decisions, whatever it is. Okay, let me explain this, because it's all going to tie in together. This realm is not a realm that you're supposed to come back to. And until you understand that, until you get that, until you really, really know what that means, then there's no way you can fulfill whatever contract or whatever purpose or prophecy you have here. It's just not going to work. If you think that this realm is the end all be all, or this realm is, well, if I fuck around this lifetime, I'll just come back. If you have that type of attitude, 10 times out of 10, you're not who we're talking about. You're not who we're talking about, okay? One way to distinguish chosen ones from those who are just those is the chosen ones do not wish to return to this motherfucker. We don't want to be here, okay? We barely want to be here now. So what do you mean come back? Come back to what? Come back to what? Right? And it's not necessarily because of, this realm is horrible. I mean, that's just, it just is what it is with that. This realm is fucking horrible. And anybody with eyes can see that this is this is hell. Okay, I don't care how much money you got in your pocket. This is hell. All right. And people who, naturally don't want to be here, it's because you know that this is not your home. This is not your place. This is not your final hoorah. This is not your resting place, right? This is why you feel so uneasy. And it didn't start when you was an adult. For chosen ones, this started when you was a kid. You felt out of place since you could remember being here. It never felt like home. You never felt like, the people around you, like your family, even down to your siblings, even down to your parents. You did not feel like those people. You didn't blend in with those people. Those people were very different than you from jump. From jump. A lot of chosen ones, because we are born into families that are asleep, we are always born awake. Right? We are born awake, and it is almost like the job of the people around us to make us go to sleep, right? And the system was set up knowing that the chosen ones was coming back, right? They knew they only had 400 years to do all the bullshit that they was gonna motherfucking do. So they knew that we was on our way back, right? And a lot of us are millennials, a lot of us are Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Okay? That's why y'all babies is smart as hell and they different than y'all family members. Okay? That's why y'all having these kids that come out and at 2 months they crawling and shit. Okay? Because these are soul spirits that are coming back on purpose because we are entering a new paradigm. We are shifting. It's go time. It's wartime. Right? So we are the millennials, I would say, and some of Gen Z, some of Gen X, which is millennials' parents, some of the baby boomers, which could also be millennials' parents or Gen X's parents. Some of them, very, very few of them, have always been awake as well. It was a couple of them, sprinkled about. Not as much as it is for millennials and Gen Z and Gen Alpha, but it was a couple of the older ones sprinkled about throughout history, for fucking sure. And that was done purposefully so that we were never in a place where we were completely forgotten about. There had to be people that maintained a certain energy so that when it was time for us to come and for that light to be sparked, it wouldn't be too much work, right? It will work more smoothly because the energy was already there. The tone was already set for us to come in and finish the job, okay? So a lot of us, all of us who are chosen or who are selected or who chose to come back, right? That's why it's chosen, because you chose to do this shit. All right. That's one thing I always tell my clients. If you found me, because all of my messages are for chosen ones. I don't encounter a lot of people that I resonate with that are outside of the realm of what it is, right? I know that my job as a high priestess, as an empress, as a hierophant is to educate the educators, right? It's to educate those who are chosen. It's to put people in position and give people the knowledge that they need to go out and wake up the communities. I know what I'm here for because I had to go through it to figure that shit the fuck out, right? Um, so if you're watching me, baby, you don't have to question it. Okay? Now the only way that you watching me and you're not chosen is if you're Caucasian. All right? And if you feel some type of way, tell your mama about it. Tell her come talk to me. All right? But if you melanated and you tuned into me, you're chosen. Okay? Because my shit don't resonate for everybody because it ain't supposed to. All right? All right. But again, like I was saying, a lot of us chosen ones have always felt this distinguished difference since childhood. You know, we knew that we were different. We walked differently. We talked differently. We seen the world from a different perspective. A lot of us were very unique children. You know, we, got in trouble because we didn't follow everybody else. You know, we weren't getting in trouble for being followers. We were getting in trouble for being leaders, and everybody else getting in trouble for following us type shit. Right? The chosen ones, some of us were very quiet and mild mannered growing up. Probably before you got bad as shit, you was probably really, really quiet as a child. Most of us was because we didn't know what the fuck was going on. we was we came from this other realm and came through our mama's coochie shoot and woke up to the bullshit, and we had no words, right? Another thing is because a lot of us were ostracized, naturally just ostracized. People didn't know how to keep up with us, or we just didn't want to keep up with the people around us. A lot of us were probably our parents probably called us the mean child, or the child that don't smile at everybody or only like who they like type of thing. Wasn't overly friendly. A lot of us were never overly friendly, just chit chatting it up with everybody. No. Because we can see people's energies very, very young. I can remember being 5 and 6 years old, and both of my parents, they weren't together. They were dating other people, and I just knew every person they brought around. I'm like, that ain't it, that ain't it, that ain't it, that ain't it. Even down to my mama's friends. Some of her friends she brought around, I ain't like them. Some of my daddy friends, I ain't like them. Certain people at school, a lot of us were loners at school, not because people didn't fuck with us. People always liked us. They had a very weird way of showing it. Some people didn't like us so much that they would talk shit about us. Some people didn't like us so much they would start rumors. Some people didn't like us so much they wanted to fight. Some people didn't like us so much they didn't even know why they didn't like us. Okay. But it was always because of your energy. It was always because of what you couldn't see. One thing about chosen ones, we always felt like people just didn't fuck with us, right? A lot of us just felt like, damn, don't nobody fuck with us. The family don't fuck with us. The friends don't fuck with us. People at school don't fuck with us. This person don't fuck with us. Okay, like, goddamn. Um, why? Like, why me? Why do they like my brother but not like me? Why do they like my sister but not like me? We come from the same household. Some of us got the same parents. What the fuck? How you like this one and not that one? And it was because of your energy. A lot of us just did not understand that shit. Another thing is, a lot of us as chosen ones or chosen children, okay, we got our spiritual gifts very early. We had spiritual experiences at a very early age and just didn't know what the fuck it was. Some of us were already astral projecting and had no idea, or lucid dreaming and had no idea. I can remember being a child and flying around the house. Now, how the fuck I'm flying around the house? I don't fucking know. Because how was that possible? But I remember being a child and flying around the motherfucking house. Period. I can even remember consciously like being awake and me and my grandmother's house. Me, my brother, and my middle brother and my cousin, because we were the three oldest grandchildren, so we always hung out. And I was the first and only grandchild. Well, first grandchild at the time, first granddaughter at the time. So of course I hung with all the boys because I was the only girl for a little while. and we would be at my grandmother's house, and you know, kids just do shit, right? Children are fearless, right? And a lot of times we think it's because, like, damn, they just don't know that they can get hurt and da 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 da. No, it's not that. It's that these babies are coming from a realm where they were limitless. There was no such thing as falling and getting hurt. Okay, so when they get here, this is a different realm, right? So a lot of our kids are trying to relearn, like, you basically come into this realm and you slowly get a cage put on you, right? When you're coming from somewhere that you never was in a cage, right? You never had any limits. There was never any bounds to you, right? You can do whatever the fuck you want. So a lot of these kids, I think they just doing shit, you know. Oh, they no. They are coming from a place where they didn't have limitations, and now you're teaching them that in this realm it's not that, right? So anyway, I can remember being a child standing at the top of the steps, jumping from the top of the steps to the bottom. And in the middle of me jumping, I can feel myself floating, and then my feet would hit the ground. And I would try to explain this shit to people all the time, and people thought I was fucking crazy. I would tell my mom, like, Mommy, I was flying. I was flying downstairs. And she was like, girl, okay. You know, like when kids is that age, you just like, okay, whatever. But I'm like, no, I legit, there's no way I should have made it to the bottom of these fucking steps, landing on my feet. Okay, like, you can't tell me I did not fly down them fucking steps. Okay, and I did it multiple times to make sure that I wasn't tripping, and I did it multiple times because the shit was fun as fuck for me to fly through the air like that. So we had a lot of spiritual experiences at a very, very young age as chosen ones. Some of y'all start seeing spirits. Some of y'all start hearing spirits. Okay? A lot of us were scared of the dark at a young age. Not necessarily because, oh, the boogeyman, but because we actually seen shit. We could actually see motherfuckers walking through our room. Right? We can actually hear people talking to us at night. Right? I was one of the kids that was definitely afraid of the dark. Do you understand me? When I say I was afraid, it wasn't until I got spiritual and started to get more into my spiritual journey, probably at like 19 and 20, where I stopped being afraid of the dark. I'm not lying. And then on top of that, I was going to church. I was indoctrinated in church. Oh my God, I thought the devil was in my room, right? Because our parents didn't know to explain to us, hey, babe, those are your ancestors, or those, that's this person, or, oh, you have a gift. You know, let me help you nurture this gift. Our parents didn't know how to do that, right? Because they birthed chosen ones and they weren't expecting that. That's not what the fuck they signed up for. They just was hunching, and here you came. That's simple, right? So they don't know that their child is, you know, extremely gifted in the astral realms. They have no fucking idea. They think your ass is just scared of the dark because you a kid, right? But if you talk to a child, they're not necessarily scared of the dark because it's dark. They scared because they see shit in that motherfucker, right? So a lot of us had those spiritual abilities very, very young, even down to, you know, my people who are telepathic, right? Down to my people who can see or had dreams of the future and then what happened. I can remember being in middle school, and you know, middle school drama with the girls is always something going on. Okay. And I can remember being in middle school and me and one of my friends got into it, and she was acting like she wanted to fight me. And I'm like, girl, whatever. So she's like, tomorrow when I see you tomorrow, it's on site. Yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, girl, like I don't care, girl. I remember because my grandfather had passed maybe 3 or 4 years prior to this. And I used to always talk to my grandfather. I told the story about how my grandfather saved my life. I almost got kidnapped. I can go back into that a little bit later. But my spirits have always been very present. I just didn't know to make all of the connections because I was born and raised in a Christian, a Pentecostal Christian household. Okay. Those are the people that be in church all fucking day running around and shouting and screaming and singing hard. Okay. That's how I grew up. So there wasn't no such thing as your ancestors. Okay. Those was demons. So I still talk to my granddaddy. I didn't give a fuck because I could see his ass. So I didn't care what the fuck they was talking about. But anyway, um, I can remember, her saying she was gonna fight me the next day. I'm like, girl, whatever. So when I went to bed that night, I didn't talk to God. I just talked to my granddaddy. I was like, granddaddy, she know why she wanna fight me. Like, this is crazy. That's supposed to be my best friend. Like, I just don't understand. Whatever, whatever, whatever. I go to sleep. I have a dream that I'm walking through my middle school because I'm in seventh grade at this point. I have a dream I'm walking through my middle school. The same girl come up to me and she like, I don't want to fight no more. We could be friends. We could talk it out. Right? I was like, oh, it's just a dream. Y'all, I went to school the next day. Why the fuck that same shit happened? That was one of the first times I said, hold up. What the fuck? Is it? I was so confused. Cause I'm like, am I dreaming? Is this deja vu? What the fuck just happened? Right? I was so confused. And I wanted to tell my mom about it, but I already knew how they felt about stuff like that. Everything was God and Jesus. So I just assumed like, oh, Jesus must have sent me the dream, or Jesus let me know whatever, whatever, or my granddaddy had my back, or I just equated it to something like that. Not necessarily knowing that I had the gift of foresight. I could see things before they happened, right? In my dreams. And to this day, I had that gift. I have that gift. I had to reopen it because it was closed for a long time, being in church all them fucking years. But doing certain things helped me to reopen that gift, right? So a lot of us have had these weird types of gifts since being children, and we never understood it. A lot of us didn't like people and didn't know why we didn't like people. I was one of those people. I just did not fuck with people. Certain people, it was very few people that I actually liked as a kid, as a teenager, as a preteen, and to this day, it has never changed. Right now, I know why, but then I used to be like, "Damn, maybe I'm just mean," and my family would call me mean. They're like, "She don't like nobody. She just mean to everybody." My family to this day calls me the pit bull because I don't have no problem cussing nobody out, and I don't have no problem. I don't be fake around people. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. It could just be me and you in the room. And my head is just me. Okay? That's just how I've always been. And I didn't realize that that was a gift. It's called discernment. It's called discernment. It's called being an empath. Right? Being an empath means that I know you by your energy, not by what you say out your mouth. I know you by your energy, not by what you do. Right? So I was able to distinguish people. I don't care what you did. I don't care if you bought me a cookie and my favorite cookie and everything. I don't give a fuck. If I felt your energy was off, your energy was off. Right? And I was like this from a kid. People used to try to give me money as a kid. They always try to give children a couple dollars or a piece of candy. If I ain't fuck with you, I'm not taking none of that shit because I don't fuck with you. I was always that type of child. I was always that type of a young adult growing up, and to this day I will not take anything from you if I don't fuck with you, because it just and I can't do it. I just can't do it, right? Another thing is a lot of us chosen ones went through a lot of trauma very, very early on in life. A lot of trauma, a lot of trauma, a lot of trauma, a lot of trauma. Chosen ones are probably the most traumatized of us all, right? And it's not necessarily because spirit don't fuck with you or because of whatever we come up with, right? It's not because of none of that. It's because of the fact that you can only speak from experience. You can only heal from a place of experience, right? So had you not gone through the things that you went through, you would not be able to heal those very things for your bloodline. For example, I was sexually assaulted at 5 years old at school, right? And because of that, I was able to heal and still is in the process of healing that generational curse in my bloodline. I was not the only one who experienced that. And a lot of us, women and men in the Black community, have gone through that. A lot of people don't know. A lot of men have gone through that. They just don't talk about it. You will be surprised how many of our men have went through the same type of SA that we women went through. The only difference is they are not as vocal about it because they're men, right? If they tell you about it, it's because they feel super, super safe in your energy. Okay? But a lot of our men have gone through it as well. So if we had not gone through that experience firsthand, right? Firsthand, meaning we experienced it ourselves, we wouldn't be able to bring that level of healing to that situation. Okay? Now, you can't heal something to the root that you have not been through. Right? That's why it hit different for us. When we heal something and we overcome as chosen ones, it hit different because we experienced that shit firsthand. So not only are we healing ourselves from that trauma, but we're also opening the door of healing for all of our generations to come. And even, putting a couple band-aids and giving a couple stitches to those generations that came before us. Right? So that firsthand experience is what gives us the power that we need to really, really seal the deal when it comes to healing certain things. Even if it wasn't that type of trauma, right? Whether it was verbal abuse, right? Whether it was physical assault, whether it was abandonment, whether it was having fear instilled into you, whether it was being homeless, whether it was being ostracized, bullied by family members, because family is your first bullies. Okay, a lot of us ain't have to go to school to get bullied. That's why we was beating people ass at school, because the family was bullying our motherfucking asses, and we couldn't whoop their ass like that. So we went to school with attitudes and got in trouble and was mad and pissed off and shit like that, right? And a lot of us got in a lot of trouble. A lot of us was looked at as the problem child, or the bad one, or the one that don't listen, or the one that you got to talk to, the one who always gets suspended, the one that didn't go to college, the one who didn't get the degree, and your piece of paperwork, and a lot of us wasn't those people, because we wasn't here to be those people. Right? And being chosen is understanding that your path, your journey is purposefully different than the ones around you. Purposefully different. There's a reason why you can't be like them and they can't be like you. There's a reason why your life can't work the way their life work. There's a reason why you want to sit in the house all motherfucking day and you find peace and happiness in solitude. I always know when people are really chosen, because those are people that don't like to be around a whole bunch of people all the time. I don't give a fuck how outgoing your ass is. And you talking to a double Gemini with a Sagittarius rising, baby. Okay? According to my chart, I'm supposed to live outside. Okay? Because that's how much energy is in my motherfucking chart. That's how much of a social battery is dictated by my chart. But because a lot of us are chosen, we don't want to be outside. A lot of us was outside early. We was outside when we was supposed to be in school. So we not trying to be out there. We don't give a fuck, right? A lot of us don't have a lot of friends. Never have, never will. Because you can't have a lot of people around you. That's what a lot of us have to understand as being chosen. You cannot be the one that has all of the friends around you. I used to envy people that had groups of friends. And then I would sit there and be like, but bitch, you don't even like people. But I used to envy people that had groups of friends. I would see people out with they big friend groups that they didn't have since they was in high school. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was in high school, I had one best friend. Well, I had two best friends, a male best friend and a female best friend. My female best friend, she been best friends with me. We've been best friends at that point since we was in like 6th grade, right? And then our friendship ended my senior year. Weird shit. My male best friend, me and him was been best friends since high school and still kind of communicate to this day, on and off a little bit, right? But those are the only motherfuckers I associated with, because those are the only motherfuckers that I actually gave a fuck about and fuck with, right? Big on loyalty. Chosen people are very big on loyalty. That's why we don't fuck around with a lot of people, because we have realized through the years that motherfuckers ain't loyal like we loyal. Right? We are family people. We are family oriented. We are squad oriented. We are gang. We don't play that. You come for one, you come for all. That's how we operate. And we know that we can't be out here protecting motherfuckers that don't even fuck with us. We know that we can't be out here loyal to motherfuckers who would never be loyal to our motherfucking ass, or who has shown us that they can't be loyal, right? Or that we gotta, keep an eye on their motherfucking ass. Somebody got time for that, right? So a lot of us stay to ourselves. A lot of us have found peace in solitude, right? Because of the fact that, number one, we have to protect our gift and our destiny. This is why you can't be around everybody. Because people will come in and taint what you're doing. They will come in and try to distract you. They will come in and talk shit and try to, light the wrong fuel under your fire. And nobody got time for that, right? We have realized a lot of us chosen ones have picked a lot of people, or picked relationships that were not good for us, and we paid the price. Now, our intuition has always been on point. That's one thing about chosen people. That intuition has never not been on point. Never in the history of niggerdom has our intuition been wrong, off, missed it by a couple. Never. It's never happened, never will happen, right? Usually we get to a place where we just want to be accepted. We tired of being different. We tired of being ostracized. So then we start doing dumbass shit. We start fucking with dumbass people that we know we're not supposed to fuck with. And we all go through it. If you chosen, you gone through it. You get to a point where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm being too mean. Maybe I'm being too this. Maybe I'm being too that. Let me try to make friends. Let me try to talk to people. Let me try to be nice. Let me, and then it don't work out. You're like, see, this is exactly why I be by my motherfucking self. You know what I'm saying? You have a little spaz out moment. Because like, see, this is why I don't be fucking with you humans. Ugh. So you go back into your shell. You go back into your bubble. Okay? And then usually that's when your spiritual awakening happens. That's when you usually start to wake the fuck up, around that time. After you go out there and you try to, not necessarily fit in, but you go against your natural instincts to, stay to yourself, and you try to force yourself to be a little bit more open to people. And then you're like, see, this is exactly why I don't do that shit. And then usually you go back into solitude and you spark your spiritual awakening. Right? You start to wake up. You start to uncover things about yourself. You start to learn more about yourself. And then you start to fall in love with the fact that you are different. Right? You start to appreciate the fact that, damn, you start looking at your family dynamic. I had this aha moment. Well, I've had this aha moment a couple times. But recently, probably like a month ago, where I looked at my family and I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not like none of y'all. Oh, I used to cry because I wanted to fit in with you motherfuckers. And now I'm looking at you and I'm just like, oh, I'm so thankful. Oh, you're just gonna cry because you're just so happy. It's like, if I would have turned out like you, if I would have had your mentality, if I would have, thought like you, felt like you, presented myself like you, acted like you, did the shit you did, oh my God. Oh my dear Lord, have mercy on me. If I would have did that dumbass shit, right? And then you get to a place where it's gratitude. Now you thankful that you not like the motherfuckers that you grew up with. Now you're in a place of peace and happiness where you can look back and be like, this is actually a good thing, right? Your perspective completely changes because you're no longer in that place where you want acceptance. You're no longer in that place where you care about people's opinions, because you see that the same people that was trying to give you their opinion, they're living this type of life. The same people that was trying to ostracize you for being different, they're living this type of life. And it don't have anything to do with money. It doesn't have anything to do with success. It doesn't have anything to do with, any of those things, to be quite honest. It has nothing to do with that. Okay? It's all about your energy. Everything here, everything in this realm is based off of energy. It has nothing to do with money. That's one of the biggest distractions that we have. And they've convinced us that we need this shit so motherfucking bad that we should, dedicate all of our time and energy. Y'all heard that crazy motherfucker sidebar talking about the retirement age, if he get elected, is going to be 73. Bitch, let me turn around and show you how many different places of my ass you could kiss. I don't even work a 9 to 5, and I'm pissed off for y'all. Cause what the fuck? What the fuck is they talking about? What the fuck is they talking about? What do you mean 73? Who the fuck is working till they 70 fucking 3? Have you met a millennial? Have you met Gen Z? We not fucking working. We probably won't even work till 43. If y'all lucky. If you're lucky, you'll see us at 45, ho. Fuck is you talking about? Who the fuck is that for? Take that shit back. Return to sender. Okay, we don't even speak that type of shit around these motherfucking parts. What is you saying? A lot of us would love to be ducked off in the middle of the forest right now. Don't threaten us with a good motherfucking time. If we had it our way, we'd just steal a piece of land and just fucking disappear on your ass if we had it our way. Be so fucking for real. Okay? The goal has never been money. The goal has been freedom. Okay? And that's one of the responsibilities and the overall goals of chosen ones is to reestablish natural freedom. Okay? This realm has become a prison for souls. A prison for souls. It keeps you here. It keeps you distracted. It keeps you locked the fuck in. This is why we tell y'all to get out of the matrix. Getting out of the matrix doesn't necessarily mean, you know, how people be like, oh, I've left the 3D and now I'm living in the 5D. Bitch, if you living in the 5D, why the fuck can I still see your stupid ass? Like what? What the fuck is you talking about? How the fuck am I still looking at you if you living in a 5 motherfucking D? Why is you still here? Okay, so ain't nobody here in this realm in the 5D. Don't let these confused ass motherfuckers tell you that stupid ass shit. That don't even make no fucking sense. Okay? We are still very much so in the 3D, 4D realm. That's just that on that. Alright. Now, another thing for chosen people, you go through what we call ascension periods, okay? This is usually when you are getting out of that place where it's either a relationship that brought you here, whether it was a death in the family, something monumental in your life, whether it was being fired from a job, you know, whatever the fuck, okay? Whatever was monumental in your life brought you here or re-sparked something within you that made you regain some type of consciousness as to who the fuck you are and what you're supposed to be doing or what you need to do in order to start remembering that information. A lot of us, because we knew we were coming back here, we set up certain things, almost like triggers, right? To trigger and spark memory. Because the thing about this realm is no matter how many times you've been here, when you re-enter with less information, right? So you re-enter not having conscious knowledge of your past life. You know, you may as a kid have certain things that you remember. This is why a lot of children be like, mommy, I remember my other mommy. I'm like, bitch, I'm your only mother. I'm like, no, you wasn't. You know, like, no, you wasn't. You know, things of that nature, right? But there's certain things that you have to forget, right? Because that's just how this realm works. This realm is hell. This is the only realm that makes you forget who the fuck you is on purpose. Okay? So that they can keep your ass here. That's the whole goal, is to keep you here so that they can harvest your energy. Okay? This realm operates off of the harvesting of energy. Monsters Inc. This shit is Monsters Inc. Okay? The motherfucking monsters set this shit up so they can trap souls here and use it for energy harvesting. Other motherfucking what you want to call them, if you want to call them extraterrestrials or other species of extraterrestrials or quote unquote aliens, come here and they use us for energy harvesting, blood harvesting, and all type of shit. Okay, this realm is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You understand? So the goal is not to stay here. The goal wasn't even really to be here. Okay, but we got here. Okay, a lot of us, you know, we you have to go back into the story of Osiris, or you can go through the story of Zeus or Heru. I mean, there's so many different explanations of how we got to this point, and that takes research. That's a rabbit hole, okay? And you got to go through a whole lot of information to, you know, connect the dots. So I'm not going to get into that today because that's just too fucking much. But that's where they got the story of Jesus from, and a lot of stuff stems from those original stories, those original takes of information as far as how this realm was created and the whole purpose of this realm, okay? But the whole goal is not to stay here. The goal is to escape, right? So they put in certain infrastructures like the moon. Okay, you know, the food, the air, that's why this realm has a dome over it, because the goal is not for you to leave. It's not for anything to leave here. But we can leave here not through this vessel, but we can leave here through the soul. So the goal is to elevate your soul so much that you are able to escape and not get tricked to come back when you do escape. Okay. Now, for people who's like I said, there's usually something that happens that is monumental in your life that brings you back to your spirituality, or brings you to a place where you start to remember, or start to go through the process to start remembering. Okay, for me, it was a horrible breakup. It was a relationship. Now, this is not to say that there wasn't little red flags or gems or aha moments, that was dropped in my life prior to this, right? There were little things, little spiritual happenings sprinkled about for a lot of us, right? Certain things that you just could not explain until you became spiritual. And then you're like, damn, that's why this happened. Or now I think back to this experience when I was a child, and that was my ancestor, or that was this, or this was that, or this was that, right? Now things start to make sense because you now have the knowledge to put two and two together. Whereas before, you were just going through the shit, but you didn't have the knowledge of why or what or who or where or whatever. Okay? But, when you finally get to that monumental moment, when you get to that trigger moment, right? That's what I call it, a trigger moment, because something happens and it sparks your motherfucking brain and be like, hold up, something supposed to change. I need to go start doing this. I need to go start doing that. Let me go start working on this. Let me go research this, right? And you can be scared as hell. Like I said, I was leaving the church. I was a born and raised Pentecostal Christian. So I was terrified because I was raised that everything that ain't Jesus in the church is demonic and devil worship and a whole bunch of other shit. So I was completely fucking terrified. I was researching, looking at shit like this. Scared as fuck. I'm like, just in case the devil jump out this bitch, let me motherfucking click it like this. I was scared as hell. Researching stuff, learning stuff on YouTube, looking through the Bible, doing this, doing that. Scared. And I think I was more afraid, not because of the information, but because of what I was leaving. When you leave religion, and we're going to talk about this on Thursday on Throne Talk, releasing religion. So definitely make sure y'all tune in on Thursday on Throne Talk. I don't think I have the flyer for it on here, but just type in Throne Talk on YouTube in the search bar. Will pop up. Make sure you subscribe. Me and my girl Empress A. But we'll be talking about that on Thursday. But coming from a religious background, babe, you hear that you could go to hell since shit. They was telling me that since I can remember. So about 2-3 years old, I knew about the devil, I knew about Satan, I knew about hell. So when you have this ideology beaten into your motherfucking ass verbally, for me, it was verbally beaten into me. it's terrifying to then go and start to research or to, be doing your research and start to hear certain verbiage being used that you're not used to. So even when I first heard the word ashe, I was like, I'm not saying that shit. I might motherfucking make a demon pop out or something. I don't know what that means. The devil might pop out, or I might go to sleep and he come snatch me up or something. I'm not saying that. Right? Until I started to do more research and I said, oh, Ashe is just like saying amen. So for me, it was, making those connections like, oh, this is like this. Oh, this is really no different from that. Oh, this is kind of like this, which allowed me to ease my way back into the spiritual realm, and made it a little bit more comfortable for me. Now, it wasn't all the way comfortable. And anybody who's on their journey, whether you coming from religion or whether you just waking up, period, baby, it's only but so much you can do to make this shit comfortable. Because it's not supposed to be a comfortable process. It's supposed to be a life-changing process. And anything that's life-changing is never going to be comfortable. And that's what we have to understand. Right? Not only are we as chosen ones changing our own individual lives, but we're changing the lives of our children, of our children's children, of their children, and their children, and their children. Okay, the same way you are still to this day affected by your great 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 grandma is the same way your great 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 grandchild is going to be affected by you. And that's the way that you got to look at this thing. Being chosen is not being selfish, and that sucks, right? Because a lot of the times we want to be selfish, right? And to some degree, it may seem like what you're doing is selfish, but it's really not. Even when it comes to taking time for yourself, isolating yourself, worrying about yourself, caring for yourself, loving on yourself, spending time with yourself, things of that nature, that's still not selfish, right? Because all of those things are making you a better person. And when you are a better person, you can fulfill your destiny in a better way. So even when I take time for myself, even when I do things for me, I'm still doing things for you. That's the beauty of this journey, right? Even when I'm taking time out to heal and to work on me and to become a better person, I'm doing all of this and it's still going to affect you as my descendant, as my child, as my grandchild, right? All of these things that I'm doing still affects those people. Because I am the catalyst. I am the martyr for what the fuck is going on. This is why we had to go through a lot of this shit firsthand, right? This is why we had to be, and I take this with a grain of salt, but this is why in certain situations we had to go through those experiences of abuse. So that we, from a firsthand experience, have enough power within us to work with to eliminate the shit for good. For good. Right? It's almost like, only a person who has dealt with drugs could really, really be the voice for the drug addicts. Right? Only a person who has dealt with a certain disease can really be the voice for the people who have a disease or deal with that disease. Right? It's only like, those people who have gone through divorce can only really, really speak for the people who are going through a divorce, right? You have to have firsthand experience in order to really resonate, right? In order to really have the power and the energy behind it to really make it do what it needs to do. So until you realize that everything that you've experienced has purpose, you're never going to be able to step into or fulfill the job that you have as a chosen one. It's just not going to happen. You're going to run the risk of repeating this shit all over again. Because once you sign a contract to do some shit, you're obligated to fulfill that contract. So if you got to come here 11 times, some of y'all on lifetime 34. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you want to come back again? Okay, that's the scariest shit for me. Scarier than anything in this lifetime is me having to come back to this motherfucker. That scares me more than anything. For me to have to come and do all the shit all over again. Baby, you talking about a bad dream? You talking about a boogeyman under the bed? That is my boogeyman under the bed. Then I'm going to close my eyes thinking I'm going to the astral realm and wake up in the hospital being wrapped up in baby clothes. Oh my God, I did it again. Fuck. Trying to talk and only a wang come out. That's why babies be crying when they first come out. They trying to talk again and they can't. Ah, what the fuck? Ah, put me back. You ever seen a baby come out with an attitude? Babies be coming out mad as shit. Fuck. I went through the wrong door. Fuck. I didn't mean to come back to this bitch again. How's that baby mad? That baby just got here. That baby ain't just been here. That baby just got here again and didn't mean to do that. That was a whole ass accident. They went through the wrong door. They went to the light. Don't follow the light. Don't follow the light. Don't follow the light. So, if y'all have any questions, I'm going to leave a little room for Q&A. For anyone who has any questions about how do I know if I'm chosen, if you went through anything specifically that you feel like you're kind of confused about, feel free to type them in the comments. While you're doing that, if you're doing that, on the 13th of February, I will be doing a trauma healing masterclass. This is a 3-hour masterclass that includes a Q&A at the end, where I will be teaching you all how to start your healing journey, how to get into a consistent routine of healing, working on yourself, getting past these traumas, taking advantage of your journey. I'll be speaking a lot from my newest book, which is The Shadow Is You. It is available on Amazon for only $14, and this masterclass is only $44, so you can get both for under $100. I mean, that sounds like a steal to me, and get a whole fucking 3-hour course to come with it. So it's first come, first serve. So anyone who is interested, this is a unisex course. So don't think it's just for women. It's not just for women. It's for anybody who needs it. Feel free to inbox me. All of my information is going across the bottom of the screen if you choose to reach out and want to be a part. Also, for my melanated women, we do have a spiritual group that we just started, myself and Empress A, on Facebook. If you are interested in being a part, just type in Behind Closed Doors on Facebook. It should take you to a screen where you are able to request membership. After you do so, we will, of course, accept you, and you can definitely participate in the things that we have going on. This is a melanated women's group only. Like I said on the live yesterday, I am working on a males group. I have a males group that is already ready. Just looking for the right men to put in charge of it so we can get it going. And of course, like I said, on Thursday, which is February 1st, we will be over on Throne Talk on YouTube, which is also on YouTube. And we will be talking about releasing religion, okay, and the indoctrination behind religion, how we personally walked away from religion, understanding, the purpose of it, how it has affected us, and everything else. So definitely make sure that y'all tune into that. Okay, let's get into these questions. If you do not want your question on the screen, just let me know. But I want to bring it on the screen so everybody can see it. Okay? Why does the journey feel like you're going through a mental breakdown? Because you are, right? You are going through a mental breakdown. In the sense that your old mental is being broken down. Right? You got to remember, we had, like I said, from the time you were a child, the job of the people around you was to keep you asleep or to put you to sleep. So everything that has happened has been a collection of experiences to do just that, right? So when you get into your spiritual journey, all of those things have to be removed in order for you to put the right information in its place. It's almost like, if I want to renovate my house, how can I be mad when they got to gut it out and take all of the shit out? If I want to renovate my whole house, how can I be mad when they get the hammer and start beating my walls down? Pause. That sounded so crazy. I can hit my brother in my head right now. You know I got 3 brothers. I heard that shit loud. Pause, bruh. I can hear one of my youngest brothers saying that shit. Pause. My bad. Not those walls. Woo, Heavenly Father, y'all pray for me. Y'all know it's not all the way up here. Anyways. But you get what I'm saying, okay? Shit, y'all know our heads be in the gutter. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, how can I be upset when things are being destroyed when I'm in the process of rebuilding? Right? How can I be upset if something wrong with my car and I take it to the dealership and they take it apart? You know? So it's an adjustment, right? A lot of us have been used to things being so uncomfortable for us our whole life that we're just looking for comfort. So when we find spirituality, we think that it's going to be the comfort that we're looking for. And it's going to bring you comfort, but not in a way that you're looking, right? Because in order for you to get to that place of comfort, you have to first be uncomfortable, right? And a lot of the old things that we do not need, a lot of things that no longer serve us, it's uncomfortable letting that shit go because it's been a part of your life for all of this time. You're used to it. It's something that you've always had a part of you, right? And for some of us, it's our defense mechanisms, right? You know, our attitude problems, we don't got attitude problems because we just mean people. We got attitude problems because that's how we've always defended ourselves, right? You know, we are not hyper independent because we just don't fuck with people. We're hyper independent because life has taught us in a very weird way that we are all that we have, which is not true, but that's what we have learned from life, right? So a lot of the things that we're holding on to, you know, spirit is coming to destroy that shit because the whole goal is to put you where you need to be and not where you want to be. And a part of getting to where you need to be is doing some shit that you don't want to do and being in some places you don't want to be. Okay, being around some people you don't want to be around. And all of that is uncomfortable, right? Or removing you from people that you have gotten used to being around. Taking things from you that you've gotten used to but are not good for you, right? So it feels like you're having a mental breakdown because a lot of the old you is shedding, and it's almost like you're grieving. You're in a process of grieving. It's like you're in a process of loss and grief, loss and grief, loss and grief. You lose a part of you that you are used to having, and then you go through a grieving process because you've lost that part of you. And then you wake up and you realize you ain't never need that part of you to begin with. So then comes the acceptance, right? Then you finally get to a place you're like, you know what? I ain't never need that motherfucker anyway. You know what? I'm happy to be by myself. You know what? I love being in my own energy. You know, you get to that aha moment, that, ooh, you know, la la. It actually works out, right? But before you get to that moment, of course, there's going to be, you know, times where you're not going to be feeling too hot. Okay, you're not gonna be feeling like you got a lot of dip on your chip. You're gonna feel a little fucked up. You're gonna feel a little confused. You're gonna feel all over the place because you're stepping into new territory, right? So this is why I tell y'all, be patient with yourself on this journey, because this is a lifelong journey. There's so many things that we are unlearning, that we are relearning, that we are learning for the first time, that we are coming into an understanding of. Is so fucking much. So when you put these additional pressures on yourself, it just don't work. So if you're having a day where you need to take a step back and have a mental day and have just go to sleep, go to sleep. It don't mean you lazy. It don't mean you ain't shit. You know, I had to start teaching myself that, because sometimes I'll have these spells where I don't want to do shit. I'll do my live and I'll get right back in the bed and lay down. Or I won't even go live. I just roll from one side of the pillow to the other for the whole 24 hours of that day. Right? And it's because we're doing so much, not only just in this realm, but also in the spiritual realm, especially for my people who are active in the astral realm. Okay? And you'll know you're very active if you're one of those people who have very, very, very vivid dreams. Like vivid dreams. It's almost like y'all ever played the game in first person? And you can look down and see your hands and see your feet and shit like that. Like you literally there, like how it is right now when you can see from only inside the vessel, that type of shit. When you had them type of dreams and you can remember that shit, okay? A lot of us, we come out of that and then people expect you to go about your day. You can't go about your day. If you've been wrestling and doing all type of shit in the fucking astral realm all fucking night, the body is tired. Okay? The soul needs rest. And rest for the soul isn't sleep. Rest for the soul is solitude and stillness. It's peace. Right? So mental health days are very important. When you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like there's a lot going on, lay your ass the fuck down. Order some DoorDash, Uber Eats, call out of work, tell them you got COVID. Y'all better start using that shit to your advantage. Tell them you got the vid, okay, and you got a quarantine for 3 days or some shit. I don't fucking know. Tell them you got the flu, bitch. All right, tell them somebody passed away. And technically, you're not lying because your old self is dying every day. So, something. Shit. Take the mental health days. All right. If both of your ears start ringing and you can hear yourself talking, but it sounds like you're in a dome, was that me ascending? Okay, so you mean the pressure of when you get pressure in the ears or when you get the ringing of the ears, okay? I wouldn't necessarily say that's a sign that you are in a state of ascension. I would say that that's more of a symbol that you are a spiritual being, right? It could also be a sign that you are clairaudient, which means that you can hear different things that may be in the spiritual realm. So I would ask myself, like, do I hear spirits? Do I hear talking, laughter? Do I hear shit that's not there? Do I hear knocking? Do I hear walking? Things of that nature. Because that could be a sign of clairaudience. It could also be a sign of spirits being around you or nearby or close by. A lot of spiritual people, chosen ones, whatever you want to call them, well, I'm not gonna say, because spiritual people are not always chosen ones, okay? And yeah, anyway, but a lot of people go through the ringing of the ears. That's one of the most common experiences that we share in this spiritual journey. So it can have several different meanings, but I always tell people, because we are all individual vessels, so what may mean something for me may not mean something for you. Same thing with angel numbers. Like, if I see 111, it may mean something completely different to me than it means to you. If I see 317, it may mean something completely different to me than it does for you. If I see, like, it's 240 right now, 240 might mean something completely different to you than it does to me, right? So I would say, when you do experience those certain things, like with my earrings, or I get pressure, I always stop everything that I'm doing and I close my eyes. And whatever my intuition says to me in that moment, that's kind of what I go with. So sometimes it could just be to get your attention. Sometimes for me, it could be confirmation. Like, if I just was thinking about something, like, or my higher self just was talking to me about something or telling me something, and then I hop on social media and I see something that resonates, that, or something that is confirmation, my ear might start ringing, or something weird like that. So it just depends. I would start what I call a symbols journal, okay, where basically everything that you feel like is a symbol or a sign, whether it's an angel number, ear ringing, whatever, every time it happens, you write it down, and then you write down what came to your intuition in that moment, what you thought about in that moment, what may have happened before that happened, or whatever the case is. And that way, the more you start to document it, the more you can go back and start to realize a pattern, right? So you'll look back and be like, damn, every time I see this number, this usually is happening in my life. Or every time I have this experience, this is usually what's going on, or, something like that. Okay. It's like creating your own cheat sheet for your own journey type of thing. All right. My daughter sees things all the time. How can she learn to use those gifts? Or how can she know who is communicating with her? So, what I would say for her, how old is she? Uh, if she's over the age of 10, I would say get her a journal so she can start writing down what she sees. Um, or if she has a cell phone, you know, if she feels more comfortable recording. Oh, she's 15, so I would definitely get her a journal. If she feels comfortable recording, then I would tell her to start setting up her camera and putting it on her, telling her to close her eyes and just start to say out loud what she sees, what she hears, things of that nature, because that'll help her develop her gift. Another thing she could do is, if she's seeing things all the time, she definitely needs to start writing down what she's seeing, first of all, so that, you know, she can start to compile a list of the different things that she encounters, so that then you can have more of an understanding, you know, of what to do based on what it is that she's seeing. For example, like if she's seeing shadow figures, you know, that could be anything. That could be an ancestor, that could be spirits, period. Because, you know, being gifted, as far as being able to see, you know, in the spiritual realm, it means that you see everything. It's not always ancestors, it's not always spirits that you know. It could be spirits in general. Okay, because spirits walk among us. Okay, it's probably spirits in the room with you right now, and I'm not trying to scare you, I'm just being realistic. There's spirits everywhere that walk this realm, but we can't see them with our physical eye, right? So it can be anything, and the only way she can start to pinpoint it is for her to start documenting exactly what it is, so that she knows how often she's seeing these specific things. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing, like I said, you know, let her record, close her eyes, and, you know, verbally start to say what she sees. That can be helpful as well, because sometimes when we talk it out as we're seeing it and we go back and watch it, we can, you know, kind of connect the dots a little bit. The purpose is to get the information out of your head and somewhere that you can go back to it. Okay. And then she can also do like little exercises, you know, going to public places like parks and stuff like that, closing her eyes and just writing down what she sees, or going to public places with her eyes open and writing down what she sees. You know, different things like that. If she doesn't already, I would set her up an ancestor altar, because if she's seeing spirit, she definitely needs protection. Again, because you don't always only see ancestors. You know, you see anything, and you got to know how to protect yourself when you start to get into stuff like that. That's just that on that. So I would set her up an ancestor altar, um, and just go about it that way. If she, usually people who can see also have dreams. So I wouldn't doubt it if she's also a dreamer, or she also sees things when she's dreaming, or have these really, really, like I said, um, clear dreams, vivid dreams. So I would start a dream journal as well, and start writing, you know, what she dreams about right when she wake up. You know, I would take her to a crystal store, get her some crystals. Any black crystal would do. Black tourmaline, black obsidian, anything black, okay, or anything red, okay, carnelian, um bloodstone. You can also get amethyst. Amethyst is the OG, triple OG, triple triple. You can get her some clear quartz and selenite. Okay, those are the OGs, triple OGs, triple triples. You can also get her fuck, what is it? It started with a T. I can't think of it. It's the turquoise crystal. I can't think of the name of it. It's not coming to me. But it's turquoise and got like blackish type of spots on it. Can't think of what the fuck the name of the crystal is right now. It's not coming to my brain. Okay. But definitely get some crystals. She can also make a mojo bag. If you don't know what a mojo bag is, it's almost like doing a spell. You know, when you take your your seasonings, your black pepper, your salt, your sea salt, cayenne pepper. She needs cayenne pepper. Let me say this. If you have any type of spiritual gift where you are going into the astral realm, seeing into the astral realm, hearing into the astral realm, any of those things, you better have some motherfucking cayenne pepper in your home. Don't even play like that. Okay? If you're calling yourself a tarot reader, because that's also going into the astral realm. That's why I be telling y'all, stop just picking up cards like this shit is Uno. It's not Uno. Because when you go and you are doing readings, you are opening up portals and opening up realms in order to pull information from. So if you're opening up realms and you don't know what the fuck is there and what could come the fuck out of it, because all readings are not positive. Sometimes you opening up and you tapping into some heavy negative ass shit. Okay? And depending on who you're reading for, you're tapping into that person's energy too. And you don't know what the fuck they come with. Motherfuckers be having family curses on their ass. They be having their own little curses and hexes and spells and shit that people done put on their ass and all type of shit. You don't know what the fuck you doing. Stop picking up cards and calling yourself a motherfucking reader because you bored and you want to do something that's quote unquote spiritual. Okay? Stop trying to be out here talking about you channeling messages and shit and giving people these funky ass regurgitated ass messages that you done seen somebody else motherfucking say, and you think because everybody around you is pulling cards or doing shit that you supposed to do the same shit. Let me say something too about the chosen ones. We all have different journeys. Just because you're chosen don't mean that you need to be out here fucking with herbs, spices, tarot, and all types of other shit. It just means you are chosen to do what the fuck you supposed to do. Some chosen people supposed to be school teachers. Some of y'all motherfuckers supposed to be chefs. Okay? Some of y'all supposed to be librarians. Some of y'all supposed to open up bookstores and shit. Some of y'all supposed to be out here healing the sick. Some of y'all supposed to be doctors and nurses. Some of y'all supposed to be CNAs and RNAs and all of the A's. Okay? It is not everybody's job to be out here fucking around with cars and waist beads. Some of y'all supposed to be out here, like I said, being a teacher at an elementary school or something. Some of y'all supposed to be out here doing hair or nails or something the fuck else. Stop trying to fit into the cookie cutter mold of what you think spirituality is. Spirituality is a lifestyle. It is not a position of what you do for your profession. Okay? It is a lifestyle. It is the way that you live your motherfucking life. It is your morals, your values, your compass. It don't have shit to do with you out here trying to fuck around with cards. It really grinds my gears. It really grinds my gears. Okay? We all have different motherfucking paths. We all have different journeys. We all have different things we're supposed to be doing professionally and personally. And if you are not stepping up in your role because you're trying to step up in somebody else's role, your position is going undone, and the people you're supposed to affect are not being affected, and you're leaving out all of these motherfucking people because you're not in position to help them. How many of us have been, inspired by our hairstylist? How many of us have been inspired by the lady who do our nails? How many of us have been inspired by our barber for my men? You go into that environment and you come out a whole different person. Not only because you got your hair done or haircut or nails done or whatever, because the people spoke life into you. Okay? Them beauticians washed your motherfucking head and you didn't even realize they was using, it's like Reiki. Any job that you're doing with your hands is basically like Reiki, baby. You're a healer. And all healers are not made the same. All healers don't need to be out here fucking with cards. Some of y'all supposed to be putting y'all hands in people's head and healing their crown chakras. Come on now. Some of y'all supposed to be giving these people makeovers and healing their sacral chakra and helping them heal their heart chakras. If you continue to live your life trying to fit into a cookie cutter mold, you are leaving people unaffected by your light. I have to say that. Thank you for bringing that up because I really, really have to say that. I cannot stress how many times I start helping people. And this is what grinds my gears. People will come to me for shadow work help. And then I see you posting, anybody want a card reading? Bitch. What the fuck? energy? What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay? And I can always tell who the real people are, who the real tarot readers are, who the real Reiki healers are, who the real people who are in those capacities are, because they don't even want to do the shit. The people who really supposed to be doing it don't even want to fucking do it, because they know how much comes with it. They understand the process. They understand how draining it is. They understand how annoying the shit is. They understand how you gotta live a different life than the motherfuckers around. They understand all that comes with it. They don't fucking want it. So if you see a bitch that's pressed, stay away. The pressed ones is out here just trying to make money, or they're trying to seek some type of validation. They're trying to, find purpose in something. And the only way that they can do it is by doing something that they see somebody else is finding purpose in. Okay, so the goal is to heal, because your healing will bring you exactly to what you're supposed to be doing. Right? There's a lot of people who, once they heal, they figured out, oh, this is my profession. I thought I was supposed to be a teacher, but really I healed, and now I realized that I'm actually supposed to be a nurse or a doctor or something. Or I thought I was supposed to be just working any type of job, just a good old government job. And now that I healed, I realized that I'm supposed to be a chef, or I'm supposed to go out here and travel the world, being a travel enthusiast or a content creator or something. I don't fucking know. We all got different journeys. That's the point. I had 2 black cats at my door today. That's protection, babe. Anything black, they have, tried to demonize it. So black cats, black birds, things of that nature, they always try to make us think it was negative. They always try to associate it to death or negativity. But when you see a black animal around you, that is protection. And for you to see 2, double the pleasure, double the fun. All right. I love my alley cats. I got alley cats in my alley behind my house. And baby, I love when they show up. I go out there and I talk to them. One of them last week, she just sat down in the middle of the alley. I'm on my balcony and we was just sitting there talking. I said, "You had a good day today?" She just sat there and she was just looking at me. I said, "Well, okay, girl." I was out there smoking and just chit-chatting it up with the damn alley cat. I said, "Okay, well, I'll talk to you later." She got right on up and walked away. I said, "Okay, well, conversation over. Thank you." Go out there and talk to them. Sometimes our ancestors, or our spirit guides show up in those types of ways. It may be their way of letting you know, hey, I'm around, I got your back. Especially if you're going through something that you may need protection for. Sometimes you may not even know that you need the protection. They'll send it to you in advance. Right? So that's why I say always write everything down. Even if it's just like 3:25 p.m. Saturday, and the date, 3 black cats. And then mind your business. You ain't gotta think about it no more. But when whatever happens, it's gonna spark your memory. You're gonna be like, hold on, didn't I write that down somewhere? You're gonna go back and look at it, oh, that's why I seen the black motherfucking cats, because the host started playing with me 2 days later. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say make your own cheat sheet, right? And even if you don't want to write down, use your notes. We got these smartphones, but treat them like they dumb. Use that motherfucking phone. Go right to your notes real fast and just type that shit in real quick and mind your business. Even if it's random shit that you hear, random shit that you feel, random ideas, right? Especially if y'all are entrepreneurs or you're trying to get into entrepreneurship. Those random ideas that you got, write that shit down. Right? Those random things that you're thinking about doing, write that shit down. I can't tell you how many times Spirit told me to do something, and I'm like, oh, I got an idea to do this, and then I don't do it because I didn't write it down, so then I forgot about it, and then I hop on social media, and I see somebody else doing it. I'm like, damn, I was supposed to do that. Okay, so you don't want to miss the boat because you out here not paying attention. All right, any final questions? I'm going to give y'all 60 seconds to write your last questions if you have any. While I'm giving them 60 seconds, make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if anything that was discussed today resonated for you. If you have any questions, y'all know, like I said, I do have mentorships, I have consultations, I have therapy sessions, counseling sessions, books, healing journals, all. When I say one-stop shop, baby, I am a one-stop shop, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing, and I absolutely love doing it. So for those who need the assistance, those who need the help, those who are ready to tap in, if you have questions, if you're just starting your journey, if you have no idea what the fuck is going on, but you were led here, definitely feel free to inbox me, email me. Again, all of my information is going across the bottom of the screen. If you do want to send any donations, my Cash App is also at the bottom of the screen. It's also located right here. But love and light to all of you beautiful people. Last question, what does it mean if you can't remember your dreams? Number one, are you a heavy smoker? I have to ask y'all that. Are you a heavy smoker or a heavy drinker? If you are a heavy smoker or drinker, you need to detox. Okay? Detox. At least 7 days. Do a 7-day cleanse to detox your system. That's not saying that you can never drink or never smoke after that, but you need to detox your system first, okay, to see if that's the problem. Give yourself 7 days. See if that's the problem. That's number one. Number two, amethyst. Amethyst is your best friend when it comes to the dream realm, when it comes to the astral realm. So I would sleep with amethyst either by my pillow, in my hand, under my pillow, somewhere around the vicinity of my head, okay, or in my hands, somewhere I can either touch it or it's around my being while I am sleeping, okay. That's another thing that can be helpful. Another thing is when you wake up, whatever bits and pieces you do remember, start writing that down. This is the thing about remembering dreams. You don't need to remember the whole dream from start to finish. That's not the goal. And can people do that? Yes. There are certain dreams. Like my dream last night, I remember that shit damn near from start to finish. But that's not the goal, right? The goal is to remember what you remember, okay, to record what you remember. So even if it's a little piece of a long ass dream, like I know my dream was long as fuck, but I only remember this little piece. Write that little piece down, okay. It's like breadcrumbs. Start writing down what you do remember, because once you start to do that, you're training your brain to say, hey, when I wake up, I'm gonna be writing down what happened. So your brain is going to start to record more information or help you with that process. Remember, the body works for us. We don't work for the body, right? The body is here for us. We're not here for the body. Okay, so it's like a muscle, right? The brain is almost like a muscle. The more you train it to do what you want it to do, the more it will do it. Okay, so write down whatever you remember, even if it's just like black shirt. If that's all you remember, write that shit down, right? Even if it's just like, two birds in a red house. Write down 2 birds in a red house, because you never know. You might be driving one day and you see 2 birds in that red motherfucking house, right? So write down what you remember, no matter how big, no matter how small, and get into a habit of doing that consistently. A lot of y'all want to just be able to do shit that you've never trained yourself to do. You can't do that. Same thing with meditation. Baby step yourself into it. Instead of trying to meditate, because meditation also helps with you retaining dreams. The more you meditate, the more you are training your subconscious or your spiritual man, okay, your spirit within. That the more is being trained, the more you're connecting with it, the more you're able to leave this realm on a physical plane and be more present in the astral realm on a spiritual plane, okay? But start with small meditations. Instead of trying to meditate for 15 minutes and you have never been consistent with it, try to meditate for 3. Like, relax, calm down, okay? This is not a race. You're not in competition with nobody. The goal of you doing these spiritual activities is not to keep up with the Joneses, okay? Quality over quantity. It's not about how long, it's about how good. Remember that in spirituality. Quality over quantity. Not how long, but how good. Okay? So if you can meditate really, really good for 3 minutes, do that. Period. Nobody said you need to be sitting there for 30 minutes trying to close your goddamn eyes. Anybody actually do all that? If you can do what you need to do for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Do what you need to do until you are able to get to a place where you can add more time and add more time and add more time and add more time. Okay? All right, love and light, my beautiful people. I am still also doing readings for 2024. I have a special right now for a 5-minute reading for how to prepare for your 2024, how to take advantage of it. For those who are interested, also feel free to inbox me. Other than that, so much light and love. Again, share this video with anyone who you feel like can use these messages or this insight. I will see you all tomorrow for our Wisdom Wednesdays. Make sure that you also go over to Throne Talk, Two Queens in a Pod. All right, and subscribe so that we can talk about releasing and removing the indoctrination of religion and Christianity. All right, light and love. Y'all have a beautiful rest of your day and rest of your week. Peace.